GM just dropped a bombshell on the auto industry, a fully electric pickup truck priced at just $24,999. Yes, you heard that right. While Ford and Ram have been pushing premium EVs and gas-powered models well above $40,000 and $50,000, GM is rewriting the rules of the truck game with a price point no one saw coming. This isn't just another EV, it's a direct challenge to the very core of America's most profitable vehicle segment, the pickup truck. Think about it. For decades, the Ford F-150 has been the king of the road, with the Ram 1500 climbing right behind it, both dominating sales and margins. But now GM is sending a clear message: you don't have to choose between affordability and electrification. A $24,999 EV pickup isn't just competitive, it's disruptive. It forces every truck buyer, from fleet managers to everyday drivers, to stop and reconsider where their money should go. And here's where it gets really interesting. Trucks aren't just vehicles, they're cultural icons. People buy them for work, lifestyle, and status. Ford banked on that when they launched the Lightning, pricing it well north of $50,000, assuming customers would pay a premium for electric power. Ram has teased their EV truck with futuristic looks, but again, it's expensive and years away. Now GM is pulling the rug out from under both of them. Imagine the headlines: a capable American-built EV truck for less than the price of a Toyota Corolla. That's not just competition, it's humiliation for the incumbents. What's even more shocking is how GM managed to hit that price point. Analysts believe they're leveraging their Ultium battery platform, which was designed from the ground up for cost efficiency and scalability. Combine that with GM's decades of experience in high-volume truck production, and suddenly the math makes sense. But while Wall Street is scratching its head, Main Street buyers are cheering. For the first time, the electric transition feels within reach for the average truck owner. Fleet buyers, contractors, small business owners, this is their golden ticket. Think about the construction crews who need multiple trucks. Instead of dropping $200,000 on 4 gas-guzzling pickups, they could electrify their fleet for half the price and save thousands more on fuel and maintenance. That kind of value proposition doesn't just sell trucks, it reshapes entire industries, and the timing, perfect. Gas prices are unpredictable, consumer debt is rising, and buyers are more price-sensitive than ever. Ford and Ram are left staring down a nightmare scenario, their most loyal customers cross-shopping a GM truck that delivers the utility they need without the financial burden. If GM can back up this price tag with real-world performance, solid towing capacity, practical range, and durability, they won't just steal market share, they could end the F-150's decades-long reign as America's best-selling vehicle. And let's talk performance, because a low sticker price alone won't win the hearts of truck buyers. GM knows this audience. They demand torque, towing, and toughness. Early leaks suggest the $24,999 EV pickup will deliver instant torque numbers that rival, if not beat, entry-level gas-powered F-150 and Rams. Even with a modest battery pack, we're looking at towing capabilities around 7,000 to 8,000 pounds, which covers everything from trailers to boats to job site equipment. And because it's electric, the acceleration is nearly instant, a feature that could shock traditional truck owners who are used to sluggish starts under heavy loads. Now picture the daily drive. No engine noise, no transmission lag, just smooth, quiet power every time you press the pedal. For contractors pulling into neighborhoods, for families using the truck as a daily commuter, this transforms the driving experience. Plus, with regenerative braking and lower operating costs, it's not just powerful, it's efficient. Add in the fact that maintenance on EVs is dramatically cheaper, no oil changes, fewer moving parts, and suddenly the lifetime cost of ownership becomes another GM selling point that Ford and Ram can't easily counter. But it doesn't stop there. GM is betting heavily on software too. Their Ultium-based systems are designed to integrate with over-the-air updates, meaning the truck you buy today gets smarter and better over time. Imagine a contractor waking up to find their truck's range improved by a software push or new towing assist features activated overnight. This isn't just a vehicle, it's a platform, and GM is treating it that way. That kind of future-proofing is going to make a lot of buyers think twice about investing in pricier but less adaptable rivals. And here's the wild card: charging infrastructure. GM has already announced partnerships to expand access, and with Tesla opening up parts of its supercharger network, range anxiety is quickly becoming a thing of the past. A sub-$25,000 EV truck paired with expanding fast-charging networks means that the old argument, EVs can't go the distance, is rapidly losing its punch. Ford and Ram built their strategies assuming EV adoption would stay gradual and expensive. GM just accelerated the timeline by years. Meanwhile, the consumer reaction is already boiling over. Forums are buzzing, truck enthusiasts are arguing, and fleet managers are doing math in real time. The shockwave is clear. Buyers who never considered an EV are now saying, why not? Because at this price, the risk feels minimal and the upside is enormous. And the more buyers lean GM's way, the more pressure mounts on Ford and Ram to slash prices on their own models, a move that could devastate their profit margins. Wall Street is already taking notice, and the ripple effects are massive. Investors understand that pickup trucks aren't just another vehicle segment, they are the crown jewel of U.S. automakers. The F-150 alone has been Ford's profit engine for decades, often carrying the entire company through downturns. If GM can genuinely deliver a sub-$25,000 EV pickup that captures even a fraction of that market, it's not just Ford and Ram that face disruption, it's the entire financial foundation of Detroit's Big Three. Analysts are whispering that Ford's Lightning margins could collapse, Ram's EV project timelines may be forced into an expensive overhaul, and GM could suddenly be positioned as the most aggressive player in the EV transition. Now think about the oil market. Pickup trucks have historically been some of the biggest gas consumers on American roads. Millions of gallons sold each day to truck drivers who rely on fuel for work and life. But what happens when thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of truck buyers start skipping the gas station entirely? Oil demand projections wobble, gas station revenues dip, and the long-standing relationship between trucks and big oil starts to crack. GM's affordable EV pickup doesn't just eat into Ford and Ram, it chips away at the fossil fuel industry's most loyal customer base. Dealerships, too, are about to feel the tremors. For years, they made money off service and maintenance, oil changes, exhaust systems, engine repairs. With an EV truck, much of that revenue stream dries up. But the flip side, higher volume sales, quicker turnarounds, and an entirely new demographic of buyers walking into showrooms. Families who could never afford a brand new pickup might suddenly see a $24,999 electric truck as their chance to buy into the segment. That means younger buyers, first-time truck owners, and city dwellers joining the market, all people Ford and Ram thought they had plenty of time to court. And then there's the jobs angle. Building a truck at this price point requires efficiency, but it also means scale. If demand explodes, GM's U.S. factories could see production ramps unlike anything in recent history. Battery plants, assembly lines, parts suppliers all get pulled into the surge. Politically, this is a win, too. Leaders can point to American-built affordable EVs as proof that clean energy jobs are real and growing. Meanwhile, Ford and Ram are stuck explaining why their EVs cost nearly double and employ fewer people per unit. All of this circles back to the American consumer, who suddenly has power they didn't before. For decades, automakers dictated the terms: you wanted a capable truck, you paid a hefty premium. Now GM is rewriting that contract. Buyers can demand affordability and innovation, and if Ford or Ram can't deliver, well, loyalty only goes so far when the difference is 20 grand in your bank account. Lifestyle shifts are where this truck could hit the hardest, because trucks aren't just about hauling, they're about living. Imagine weekend campers who've been priced out of full-size trucks suddenly loading up kayaks, mountain bikes, and tents into an EV that costs them less than many compact SUVs. For outdoor enthusiasts, the built-in battery becomes more than just range, it's a portable power station. You can charge gear, run lights at a campsite, even power tools at a job site, all without firing up a noisy generator. That's freedom Ford and Ram simply aren't offering at an entry-level price. Small businesses are another game changer. Landscapers, delivery services, mobile repair crews. These are the backbone of America's working class, and they run on tight margins. Dropping tens of thousands less on a fleet, while also saving thousands every year in fuel and maintenance, isn't just cost-cutting, it's survival. A GM EV truck becomes more than a vehicle, it becomes a financial strategy. For many of these owners, it's the difference between expansion and closure. That's why adoption. Small businesses are another game changer. Landscapers, delivery services, mobile repair crews. These are the backbone of America's working class, and they run on tight margins. Dropping tens of thousands less on a fleet, while also saving thousands every year in fuel and maintenance, isn't just cost-cutting, it's survival. A GM EV truck becomes more than a vehicle, it becomes a financial strategy. For many of these owners, it's the difference between expansion and closure. That's why adoption here won't just be fast, it'll be fierce. And let's not overlook towing culture. Boats, trailers, RVs, pickup trucks are the backbone of America's recreational lifestyle. GM's affordable EV pickup is poised to redefine that experience. With instant torque, pulling a trailer feels smoother, more controlled, and safer. Pair that with advanced driver assist systems and smart towing software, and suddenly long-distance hauling becomes less stressful than ever. Add in the ability to top off at a fast charger on the way to the lake, and the weekend warrior market starts looking at this truck not just as an option, but as the obvious choice. Now, zooming out, this move doesn't just shake Ford and Ram, it sends a warning shot around the globe. Toyota has been dragging its feet on EV pickups, relying on its hybrid playbook, but a $24,999 electric truck from GM forces them to accelerate or risk losing relevance in the U.S. truck market. Tesla, with its futuristic Cybertruck, suddenly faces a new narrative too. While Tesla chases tech-savvy buyers with bold design and premium pricing, GM swoops in for the masses with affordability and practicality. That split could carve the EV truck market into two camps, the elite and the everyday, and in America, everyday buyers vastly outnumber the elite. American cultural identity is where this truck could spark a true revolution. For decades, owning a pickup has been more than just transportation. It's been a symbol of independence, grit, and self-reliance. The image of the farmer hauling hay, the contractor pulling into a job site, the family tailgating at a football game, it's woven into the fabric of what it means to drive American. And yet EVs have long been painted as something different, often dismissed as impractical, fragile, or reserved for the city crowd. GM's move flips that stereotype on its head. Picture this: a rugged, affordable, American-built EV pickup sitting in a driveway in rural Texas or Montana. No chrome-plated luxury badge, no futuristic spaceship design, just a workhorse with the same grit as its gas-powered predecessors, only cleaner and cheaper to run. That's not just a truck, that's a statement. It tells the world that electric isn't soft, electric isn't elitist, it's practical, it's tough, and it belongs everywhere from the farm to the freeway. And here's where it gets even deeper: generational impact. Younger buyers who want their first truck but can't afford $50,000 finally get a chance to step into the lifestyle. Older buyers who've been loyal to gas might try one because the price is simply too good to ignore. The result? You get EV adoption not just in cities, not just on the coasts, but across Middle America, the very heartland that has been slowest to embrace electric vehicles. That cultural crossover is the holy grail automakers have been chasing, and GM may have just cracked the code. Even traditions like tailgating change. Imagine plugging in grills, speakers, and coolers directly into the truck bed, no need for generators, no extension cords. It's cleaner, quieter, and more convenient, but still very much the same cultural ritual. The truck doesn't erase tradition, it modernizes it. This is where Ford and Ram should be terrified, because they've built their brands around being part of American life. But if GM can slide in and show that their truck does everything the old icons did, while saving buyers thousands, those cultural loyalties could flip overnight. And beyond culture, there's pride. Buying American has always mattered in the truck market. GM can lean into that by saying, here's an affordable EV built right here for working Americans. That message is powerful. It undercuts foreign automakers trying to enter the EV truck game and puts pressure on Ford and Ram, who now look like they're asking their loyalists to overpay. GM's truck becomes not just a product, it becomes a badge of identity. Government policy is another lever that could supercharge GM's gamble. The U.S. has been pouring billions into EV incentives, charging infrastructure and domestic battery production. With a $24,999 price tag, GM's truck may already qualify for federal tax credits that could drive the effective cost even lower, possibly into the $20,000 range for eligible buyers. That's compact car money for a full-size pickup, something that sounds almost impossible until you realize the government is effectively subsidizing the switch. And it doesn't stop at federal policy. States like California, New York, and even Texas are rolling out their own EV rebates, meaning a buyer in the right region could walk out the door paying less for an electric pickup than for some used gas models on dealer lots. That kind of pricing flips consumer psychology. Instead of EVs being the expensive option, they suddenly become the obvious bargain. Ford and Ram can't match that without gutting their margins, and Wall Street knows it. Infrastructure is also catching up fast. The White House has committed to building out 500,000 charging stations nationwide, and GM is already tapping into Tesla's supercharger network to give their customers access to thousands of reliable fast charging points. That means one of the last big objections, where do I charge it, is evaporating at the exact same moment GM drops this pricing bombshell. Timing doesn't get more strategic than this. And here's a wild card nobody's talking about: fleet electrification incentives. Cities and states are offering cash bonuses to companies that swap gas trucks for EVs. With a $24,999 sticker, GM's pickup suddenly becomes the cheapest way for municipalities, delivery companies, and contractors to take advantage of those incentives. Picture an entire city utility department replacing gas trucks with GM EVs practically overnight because the math just works. That's not just market share, that's dominance. All of this builds into a perfect storm. GM has aligned affordability, government support, and infrastructure growth in a way Ford and Ram simply didn't anticipate. Instead of EV adoption crawling forward one premium model at a time, this move slams the accelerator. And when adoption scales this quickly, the domino effect hits everything from gas stations to auto insurance, from parts suppliers to roadside businesses. The entire ecosystem of life with a truck begins to evolve. The economic ripple effects are going to be impossible to ignore. Start with small-town America, where trucks aren't just popular, they're essential. These are communities built around farming, construction, and trades, where the truck is as much a tool as it is a vehicle. When those towns suddenly see an affordable electric option, the shift is more than personal, it's communal. Fuel stations might notice fewer diesel sales, local mechanics may see fewer oil changes, and power companies could experience new revenue streams as residents plug in at home. That money stays local instead of being funneled into oil imports or high repair bills. It's an economic recirculation that benefits the very communities automakers have historically claimed to serve. Insurance companies will feel it too. EVs are often seen as pricier to insure because of high repair costs, but a mass-market sub-$25,000 pickup changes the risk model. Lower purchase prices could mean lower premiums, and widespread adoption of advanced driver assist systems built into these trucks may reduce accident rates. That means cheaper coverage for owners and potentially even less strain on insurance companies themselves. Over time, those savings stack up, another reason families and small businesses might find this EV truck irresistible. Then there's the ripple through supply chains. Gas stations in rural areas which rely heavily on pickup drivers for consistent revenue may struggle as charging networks expand and electricity takes a bigger share of fueling. At the same time, local electricians and infrastructure workers could see a surge in demand for home chargers, commercial charging hubs, and grid upgrades. One sector shrinks, another grows. and GM's truck becomes the catalyst for that economic reshuffling. And think about the aftermarket industry. For decades, truck culture has thrived on accessories, lift kits, toolboxes, bedliners, tow hitches. EV trucks open the door to a whole new wave of aftermarket innovation. Portable solar chargers, modular battery extenders, smart storage systems all could explode in popularity. Entire businesses may rise around helping EV truck owners customize their rides for work and play. For the first time, the aftermarket isn't just about chrome and horsepower, it's about energy and efficiency. Even the energy sector gets caught in the wake. Utilities may have to adjust to new demand patterns as thousands of trucks plug in overnight, but they also gain new revenue. Some companies are already exploring vehicle-to-grid technology, where trucks don't just consume electricity but also feed it back during peak demand. Imagine fleets of GM EV pickups doubling as mobile batteries, stabilizing local power grids and earning their owners money. That's not science fiction, it's already being tested, and GM's mass-market truck could be the tipping point that makes it mainstream. Let's bring it all together because the picture is crystal clear. GM's $24,999 EV pickup isn't just another vehicle launch, it's a seismic event in the auto industry. Ford and Ram, once untouchable in their dominance, now face a challenger that has rewritten the rules overnight. This truck blends affordability, capability, and American manufacturing pride in a way no competitor saw coming. And while the ripple effects are just starting, the direction is undeniable. From oil markets to small-town economies, from Wall Street to weekend tailgates, everything tied to the truck market is about to change. For decades, we've been told that electrification would be slow, expensive, and reserved for early adopters. GM just proved that's a myth. They've made the electric truck not only attainable but practical, cultural, and aspirational all at once. The F-150's throne is shaking, Ram's bold promises suddenly look hollow, and even Tesla's futuristic vision is forced to reckon with the raw power of affordability. This is more than competition, it's transformation. The U.S. truck market is the most profitable, most iconic, and most fiercely defended segment in all of automotive history. And yet, in one bold move, GM has forced every player, old and new, to rethink their strategy. Will Ford slash prices and risk profits? Will Ram accelerate timelines and risk quality? Will Tesla pivot from the premium edge to the mass market? These are the questions being asked in boardrooms, in dealerships, and around kitchen tables across America right now. And the answer will determine not just the future of trucks, but the future of how America moves, works, and lives. One thing's for sure, the game has changed, and GM just dealt a hand nobody expected.